to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security.
South Park just trolled Meghan Markle in the worst way possible and called her the perfect copycat. Yep, the Queen of Contradictions is back in the spotlight, and South Park didn't waste a single second turning it into pure comedy gold. This is a satirical commentary, but it hits way too close to reality. In their latest parody, titled The Duchess of Double Standards, the show hilariously tears apart Meghan's desperate royal rebrand from jam jars to Paris Fashion Week disasters.
What?
It was really hard.
In true South Park fashion, nothing is off limits. They show Meghan preaching about protecting kids 1 minute and then sitting front row at the Balenciaga show the next. The parody paints her as someone who wants to be royal, Hollywood, relatable, and untouchable all at once. One day she's the domestic duchess showing off homemade jam, and the next she's posing for cameras like she's auditioning for The Devil Wears Tiara. But the best part, South Park hints that Meghan's rebrand is so messy, even Princess Diana might show up in the episode. Just to set the record straight, because when South Park smells hypocrisy, they go all in.
You see, my wife and I was totally like, you should write a book because your family like stupid, and then so are like journalists.
It all started, like every Meghan Markle headline does, with something that was supposed to look classy, but ended up looking like a PR disaster wrapped in designer fabric. And, of course, the internet didn't waste a second turning it into a meme, while South Park fans were already imagining the episode. Because if there's one thing South Park loves, it's roasting Meghan and Harry's never-ending circus of "we want privacy" meets "please look at us right now." Seriously, if there was ever a real-life duo built for South Park satire, it's these two. Meghan's dramatic interviews, constant rebranding, and royal contradictions are practically the show's dream script. Trey Parker and Matt Stone don't even have to make things up anymore. They just turn on the news, grab popcorn, and take notes. And this time, Meghan's trip to Paris Fashion Week gave them all the material they could ever need.
Look, Kyle, we just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid wife.
It began when Meghan, the same duchess who once said she wanted a simpler, quieter life, showed up at Paris Fashion Week looking like she just teleported from a perfume commercial. Cameras flashed, crowds screamed, and she glowed under the spotlights like she was the main event. It wasn't exactly the picture of privacy. But what made the whole thing explode online wasn't her presence. It was who she was there for. Balenciaga, the luxury brand that's been at the center of one of fashion's biggest scandals. If you somehow missed that one, back in 2022, Balenciaga released an ad campaign that featured little kids holding teddy bears in bondage-style gear. It was disturbing, offensive, and frankly, just plain creepy. Social media lost its mind. The brand faced lawsuits, celebrities distanced themselves, and people were calling for boycotts everywhere. Even Kim Kardashian said she was disgusted. So, yeah, it was bad. Now fast forward to 2025. Not even 2 years later, Meghan Markle, who runs a foundation all about protecting children online, decides to sit front row at a Balenciaga show. The irony couldn't have been louder if Cartman himself screamed it into a megaphone. You can almost imagine the South Park version of the scene. Meghan sitting front row in an all-white outfit while Kyle mutters, "Dude, she preaches child safety," and then shops at the child scandal store Cartman. Meanwhile, would probably yell, "At least she's keeping the seat warm for Kim K's next scandal."
Down with the monarchy!
But it's not just that Meghan went, it's how she went. She didn't look the least bit uncomfortable. She was glowing, smiling, totally in her element. According to reports, her outfit cost around $10,000, though many online joked that it looked more like a hotel bed sheet than haute couture. If this were a South Park episode, Butters would whisper, "Oh my gosh, she's a ghost," and Kyle would sigh, "She's haunting good taste." Then came the moment that made everyone's jaws drop. After the show, Meghan posted a soft, elegant Instagram story. A car ride through Paris, her legs crossed, music playing, city lights twinkling. Just another glamorous night out moment, right? Except fans quickly noticed that the route her car was taking was the exact same one Princess Diana drove on the night of her fatal crash. Yes, the same tunnel. And yes, Meghan filmed it herself. The internet went ballistic. People couldn't believe it. Some said it was a mistake, but most didn't buy it. Meghan doesn't do accidents. Everything she posts is curated, filtered, and carefully planned. So, of course, people started asking, was it a message? A comparison? A cry for attention? Whatever it was, it didn't sit well. If your husband lost his mom there, why on earth would you post that? One comment read. Another said, she's turning tragedy into content.
Privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy!
If this were a South Park scene, Stan would probably stare blankly and mutter, that's messed up, while Cartman filmed a fake vlog yelling, welcome back to Royal Influencers Gone Wild. Today we're driving through emotional trauma for views. And it didn't stop there. Meghan claimed she was in Paris to support her friend, Balenciaga's new creative director. Sounds nice and friendly until you realize the designer doesn't even follow her on Instagram. Their hug looked awkward, their smiles were fake, and the whole thing screamed PR stunt. It felt less like I'm here for my friend, and more like I'm here to remind the world I exist.
And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right! So you're a journalist. We just want to be normal people. All this attention is so hard.
The truth is, Meghan's been struggling to keep her brand alive. Remember that lifestyle line she launched, As Ever? You know, the one with homemade jam, candles, and mindful teas? It was supposed to be her big Martha Stewart moment. Except, well, Martha Stewart actually knows how to cook. Meghan's version was all aesthetic and zero authenticity. Expensive jars that looked pretty on Instagram, but didn't impress anyone in real life. Even South Park would have a field day with that one. Cartman would probably slap his name on a fake version called Royal Schmear, shouting, made with empathy and zero effort. So now Meghan switched gears again. Out with the cozy California mom vibe, and in with the sleek, icy fashion queen look. Gone are the soft curls and friendly smiles. Now it's all slicked back hair, neutral makeup, and mysterious stares. Some people even compared her to Victoria Beckham, serious, polished, and always camera ready. Which is ironic because Meghan once said people told her she could go into fashion. Looks like she took that a little too seriously. If Cartman saw her new look, he'd probably roll his eyes and say, oh cool, she's entering her expensive ghost era.
Down with the motorhead! Windows over!
But here's where things get really interesting, the Kardashian connection. Rumor has it that Kris Jenner, the mastermind behind the Kardashian empire, has her eyes on Meghan. Kris apparently sees her as a potential project. Fame, controversy, royal title. It's a PR goldmine. Some reports claim Kris even offered to help Meghan rebuild her brand and maybe score a few shows. The catch? Kris allegedly wanted Meghan to spill some royal secrets in return. Officially, everyone denies it. Unofficially, it sounds exactly like something Kris would do. And the timing fits too. Kim Kardashian, who once criticized Balenciaga's scandal, is now back as their ambassador. So Meghan showing up at the same show, dressed to kill, might not be a coincidence. Maybe it's her way of saying, move over, Kim. The Duchess has entered the chat. You can already hear South Park's take. Cartman yelling, it's keeping up with the Montecitos. And Kyle muttering, yeah, except no one asked for this spin-off.
Fashionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy.
This isn't the first time South Park has roasted Meghan and Harry either. Their earlier episode, the Worldwide Privacy Tour, was pure gold. It mocked the couple's obsession with attention while pretending to want none of it. Meghan and Harry marched around screaming, "We want privacy," while showing up on talk shows, waving signs, and giving interviews. It was so spot on that people almost forgot it was satire. Ever since then, it's like Meghan's been unintentionally writing new episodes for them. Every public move she makes feels like a new script waiting to happen. And honestly, South Park's not wrong. Meghan's entire public image seems built on contradiction. She says she hates fame, yet she chases cameras. She says she values privacy, yet she releases documentaries. She says she stands for compassion, yet her every move feels like it's meant to outshine someone else. Her Paris Fashion Week stunt was just the latest chapter in that ongoing contradiction. To make things worse, Harry was nowhere in sight during all this. People noticed. Some said he skipped the trip because he's tired of her PR drama. Others joked he's probably hiding in their Montecito backyard, trying to remember what peace feels like. In a South Park world, he'd be sitting in a hoodie next to Randy Marsh, mumbling, "Mate, I just wanted to play Xbox."
Can you two fucking keep it down?
Hey! You ever heard of a thing called privacy?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Will you two just shut up and go away?
By the end of it all, Meghan's Paris moment became the internet's favorite punching bag. Some called it bold, others called it desperate, and South Park fans called it another episode in the making. It had everything: hypocrisy, scandal, awkwardness, and unintentional comedy. The funniest part? Meghan's actions prove exactly why South Park can't stop roasting her. She's unpredictable, dramatic, and always camera ready. She gives the show more free material than they could ever invent. From her jam jar empire to her Balenciaga cameo, her life plays out like a satire that never ends.